Hello guys, welcome to the video. This is the look we're gonna be doing today. I am going to the club. It's my friend's birthday, so this is the makeup look I'm doing. Let's just jump right into the video. I'm so excited to show you guys how to do this look. Remember to always start off with a nice clean face, and please do not do your 7-step Korean skincare routine before doing your makeup for a night out. Like, it is not gonna last. It's just gonna create a barrier between your skin and your makeup, and your makeup will not even last the car ride, girl. Okay, so please do not do an elaborate skincare routine before doing your makeup. Okay, disclaimer is out, and I'm going to be using this sunscreen as my moisturizer. Basically, I just really like this. It creates a nice starting point for my makeup. So this is basically like my moisturizer and SPF, and even though I'm going out in the night, it doesn't really matter. SPF is not going to hurt anyone. I always get people asking me, how does your makeup last all night? And let me show you the routine. Like, this is the routine, girl. Just remember to let this sit on your skin for a couple of minutes before you start your makeup routine, because you need the product to soak into your skin. I'm usually not a primer girly, but I'm going in with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer today because we're going on a night out and we need some extra help. So I'm just going to do a couple of pumps on the back of my hand and then just rub it onto my face. Gotta do the sticky test. Yeah. Okay, before foundation, I'm gonna go in with this illuminator from Mars Cosmetics. It is like a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Fusion thing. It's just like a nice illuminator and gives you a nice glow from within. It's super sheer and blends out super easily. I like to wear this even on no makeup days because it just makes me look a little fresh and awake. Now I'm going in with my foundation. This is my absolute favorite foundation. Like, Lady Gaga literally made one of my most favorite foundations ever. This is the House Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation. I would literally wear this on my wedding day probably, like one day. She really is that girl. So I'm just gonna put a couple of pumps on the back of my hand, just starting off. Then I'm going to take my foundation brush, just dip into it and start applying it on my skin. I like to kind of tap it on and then slightly drag it onto my skin. A little goes a long way for this foundation. Like, you don't need a lot. I've just got 2 pumps on the back of my hand and I'm still going strong for my whole face. Forehead, never forget your forehead, girl. Always push into your hairline as well, otherwise it's gonna look like a line of demarcation just there. With whatever excess is on my brush, I'm just gonna tap it onto my eyelids to sort of give an even canvas and get rid of my hyperpigmentation like around my eyes and under eyes. Now I'm gonna go in with bronzer. This is my absolute favorite bronzer as well. This is the Milk Makeup one, but unfortunately she broke. Like, she does not twist up, so I just scoop some out with a palette knife and I just put it on the back of my hands like this. Then I take this like dense fluffy brush, tap a little into it, go right on my cheekbones in a tapping motion. I don't want to drag it inwards too much because then it'll just make my face droop. We want to keep it like high lifted and upwards, so use tapping motions, not swiping motions, otherwise you're just going to move the foundation that's underneath it. This bronzer literally just melts into my skin. Like, it's so good. I'm so sad it broke. Again, push the bronzer into your hairline as well. You don't want that line of demarcation. Same thing on the other side. And I'm going to use a smaller angled brush like this for my nose contour. Again, just dipping it into the product on the back of my hand. And I'm just doing a simple 11 line motion on my nose. Nose contour really just does it for me. Now I'm going in with a liquid blush. I love a pink blush. Like, I think it just looks so pretty and doll-like. So I'm just doing 3 dots like this on my face and keeping it on my rude cars. Again, the blush placement as well, I like to keep it high and drag it to the apples of my cheek. So I'm just gonna blend this out now after letting it sit a bit, but I'm just using tapping motions here as well. You don't want to use swiping motions. That's just gonna move everything that's underneath it. And because I let the product sit for a bit, the pigment deepens. Also, if you're like me and use your hand as a palette, pro tip, just keep a wipe on hand and just wipe your hand down. I'm so notorious for just like putting my hand on my clothes and absolutely ruining them. So yeah, always keep a wipe on hand. Now I'm going in with the Huda Beauty concealer. I'm just gonna do a little under my eyes, outer corner to lift down the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead. This is my concealer placement. If you don't look crazy while doing your concealer, you're doing it wrong. I like to let my concealer sit and like sort of dry down a little before I blend it out because it just adds so much more coverage. and it looks very airbrushed and flawless. I start with blending the concealer on the forehead and then my under eyes. I make sure I sort of blend the concealer into my blush so that everything looks very seamless. The key to flawless makeup is just blending. Like, take your time blending and everything would just look so harmonious and cohesive. Now I like to go in with a second concealer to brighten. I'm using the House Labs one, just slightly on the inner corners of my under eye, and I'm also again going on top of the concealer on the bridge of my nose to brighten more. I actually should have just done one round of this, but always leave the nose for the last so that it dries down a bit and I can just sort of set it into place. It'll just make the contour pop more. For the bridge of my nose, I will just pinch together the beauty blender, tap the concealer into place. Just tap it into place, don't move the beauty blender around. Because this is a night out, like long-lasting makeup tutorial, always set in between your layers, not just at the end, because that will just make your makeup last so much longer. Now this is possibly one of my favorite steps in the makeup routine. It is setting powder. It's such a simple step, but once the setting powder comes onto your face, like, it just looks so flawless and doll-like, and I just feel like a baddie. So I'm just taking some of the powder and tapping it into the lid. Then I'm going to take a powder puff, dip it into the powder and tap off the excess on the back of my hand. If you just go in directly, it'll look super cakey. Always set my under eyes first. So before I do that, I'll just take my beauty sponge and just tap under my eyes to just remove any creases that may have come in between, you know, taking the powder and doing the concealer. Then I will just tap on the concealer. Just tap. I'm also lightly going over the blush as well to kind of mesh it together. Can you just see the difference already? Like, the under eye on this side versus this side, like, it just looks so flawless this side, and this side is giving grace. I'll repeat the same steps that I did on this side for this under eye. So again, just tapping my sponge into the powder, dabbing off the excess, blending out the under eye, and then press. Just press. Once I've set my under eyes, I will just go in with the powder again, taking off the excess, setting around my mouth, below my jawline, just avoiding all the places that I use other cream products like my bronzer and blush, because I'm gonna set that with their respective powders anyway. I don't want to be layering too much powder. Very, very important. Always blend out your eyelids before setting it. Otherwise, the concealer will definitely set into your creases and your eyeshadow won't look great. Now I'm just going in with some powder bronzer on a big fluffy brush. And I'm just gonna kind of set the bronzer into place using a very light hand. I don't want to add a lot of color, and I'm going in with a similar brush that I use for the cream contour, for the powder contour for my nose as well, setting that into place. I'm gonna spray my face again just to let everything melt into each other. Now I'm actually gonna skip blush and move to the eyes, because I like to do my blush after the eyes so that I can kind of balance out the look and see how much blush I need to add after eyeshadow, because I feel like if I do it before, I'm kind of working around the blush and not the eyeshadow look. So I want it to be complementary to each other. I just zoomed you guys in a little for the eyeshadow look. I kind of want to do something sultry with eyeliner because it's a night out, like we need it to be a little fun. I'm gonna be using the Huda Beauty Icy Nudes palette. I love this palette so much, it's so pretty. Mixing these two shades for my transition shade. I'm just gonna put it into my crease, also on my outer corner, and drag it out as well so that I just get a very like lifted cat eye, winged out, pulled out look. Using a medium-sized fluffy blending brush for my eyeshadow. Just keep tapping off the excess from your brush as you add it onto your eyeshadow. Otherwise, it's just going to deposit pigment directly onto one spot. You don't really want that. And I'm also taking it very slightly into the nose contour and kind of joining them together so that it looks very harmonious. You don't know where one thing is starting and one thing is ending. Everything is just blending into each other. Okay, now I'm taking the same brush into this plummy brown shade. I'm just going to put it on the outer corner just to give the eyeshadow a little more dimension, and I'm just using stamping motions here. Can you see the difference by just adding one more eyeshadow shade? Now I'm gonna jump into another Huda Beauty palette and be taking this shimmer from the Pretty Grunge palette. You can use like any champagne-y silver shimmer for this, or whatever matches your outfit. I'm just gonna be pressing it onto my eyelid. Now I'm taking a smaller flat blending brush and dipping it into the same shades I used for my transition and I'm just gonna define my lower lash line with it, just very slightly. I don't want to deposit too much color, and I'm mainly focusing it on the outer 2/3 of my eye. Like as I drag it inwards, I will kind of stop. Now I'm just gonna add some wing liner. I also added a little point to the inner corner. Now it's the hard part, trying to match the eyeliner on the other side. Okay, eyeliner is on. I'm just gonna go in with some eye kohl, and I'm gonna tightline my upper lid, and I'm also gonna add some into my lower waterline. Focus majority of it on the outer third of my eye. As I drag it in, I'm just gonna feather it out. You'll see what I mean. You can see I don't take it all the way across. I kind of stop where my pupil is and taper it towards the end, because I feel like I don't want my eyes to be super closed off. It can look super intense. I like this. It just makes your eyes look a little more awake and doll-like. Now I'm just gonna add some mascara and lashes, and always give your lashes a good curl before you add the mascara. It'll just look so much better. I'm just giving them a nice even coat because I'm going in with lashes anyway. So you may have noticed I did not do any brow routine because, as you can see, I have like naturally very thick eyebrows. If I do anything on top of this, it's gonna give Sharpie eyebrows, which I do not want that. So usually what I do is, like, once I finish my makeup, just before I leave, I'll just add some hair gel through my eyebrows to kind of set them in place. So if you have like thick eyebrows like me, don't spend a lot of money on brow gel. Just use hair gel. It's practically the same thing, like it's hair on your eyebrows. And I'm just doing a cute little half lash. I didn't want to add like a full lash. I think just a cute little baby end lash looks really cute with this look. Okay, we're almost done. Now I'm gonna add some blush. Actually gonna be mixing these two blushes, light baby pink one with this deep red one. They're two very contrasting colors, but I'm just gonna mix them slightly into each other to give a very baby doll pink blush. And I'm just taking it on this brush and applying it on the same place we applied the cream blush to, sorry, liquid blush. Now that the liquid products are on, you can sweep because it's not going to move anything underneath. We've set our faces. I am a little blush blind, but aren't we all? Now I'm going to do the lip combo. It's usually a cocktail of things, so I'm just going to line my lips first with this chocolatey brown liner. I like to overline my cupid's bow ever so slightly just to round it off, because I have like slightly pronounced cupid's bow, so I just like to round it off. And I will also very lightly just overline my bottom lip. I love an ombre nude lip, so I'm taking a little of this, just gonna be dotting it on my lips. Press my lips together. I'm just gonna take some of the blush on a small blending brush and just tap it onto the lips. Everything is just tied in together very subtly, like, oh, I almost forgot, but I'm just gonna take some highlighter and put it on the bridge of my nose to really bring in the nose contour. And this is the finished look. I am ready to go out. Like, I'm obsessed with how this looks. Like, it just looks so flawless and put together. I hope you tried this look. I feel like it's super beginner friendly as well. Like, the eyeshadow is really easy to do. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed, and follow me on all of my social media. I'm just Shahla everywhere, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.